people who are in a state of invasion. But yeah, right now, I mean,
Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. Today is Monday, August 25th, and we are at episode 897 of the Immigration Answer Show. Just 3 left until we get to episode number 900. Can you believe it? How's everybody doing? I know some people, I saw the hoodie that Louis and Rocio got for me when I turned 500 episodes. It doesn't seem that long ago. It seems like, I guess we've been doing so many damn shows that things are just sort of speeding up. But what are you going to do? Let's go to UA. Hello.
Hi. I have a bit of a longer story. So I've had a. How are you, by the way? I'm good.
I'm good. I'm glad you're well. Yeah, no problem. Go right ahead.
So I've had a green card since 2012, and I was in medical school back in my own country in Pakistan. So I used to come every 6 months. But in 2021, I had a lot of exams and it was my final year in medical school, so I was unable to come after 6 months, and I came after 10 months. So it was more than 6 months but less than a year, and
Okay.
no problem, they let me in. And after a year I started living here, and 4 months later I'll be eligible to apply for my passport. Will they give me any trouble during my passport interview for the fact that didn't I stayed outside the country for more than 6 months, like for 10 months straight?
What is the date that you returned to the United States on the 10-month trip?
That was September 2021.
September of 2021.
Oh, sorry, September 2022. So I left the country. I left USA November 30th, 2021, and then I returned September 2022.
So you have to wait until September 2026 to apply for citizenship.
So
So
I have to.
there's a
I'm
rule that says that if you break your continuous residence, and that's what we're talking about. So the reason people shouldn't be gone for more than 6 months is they don't want to break their continuous residence. So I believe that if you apply now, USCIS would say, well, we know we didn't take your green card, but you weren't really living here. You were residing in Pakistan and you just came back here to keep your green card. You were really going to school and living full time back home. So we think you broke your residency. And I think actually they probably have the right, they're right in that. I would think that even under Biden or Harris or anybody else, that would have been the case. So then if we agree that you've abandoned your residency by living primarily in Pakistan, then the rule says that once you come back, you have to wait 4 years and 1 day to reset your continuous residency. So for you, if you came back in September 26th, that would be September or October. I'm sorry. If you came back in 22, then it's either September or October of 2026.
So I was told that I have to stay here 30 months for continuous stay, and 5 years that I would have had the green card, and then half of the time I need that for continuous residence. So does the continuous residence get reset, or does the 5 year thing get reset?
The 30 months is to make sure that you have at least half the time in the United States, but there's a separate rule. There's a separate rule about breaking your residency. So you broke your residency. So that person that gave you that advice was accurate in that, hey, if you ever want to be able to apply for citizenship, you have to be living here half the time. But there's this other rule that person probably didn't know about, and that is that if you are outside the United States for more than 6 months and you break your residency and you want to reestablish residency so as to be able to apply for citizenship, you have to wait 4 years and a day from when you come back from your too long trip.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, I don't think she liked my answer, but that is the correct answer. So she could apply, but it would be a lost cause, I think. I don't think that would be a winner. All right, let's go to Peter. Hello.
Hi, Jim. How are you doing?
Great. How are you doing?
Doing okay, Jim. Thanks for asking, and thank you for all you do, all the videos I've watched. Yeah, I know that the Trump administration is cracking down even on legal immigration. So I've been thinking about this plan, but I'm not sure if it's plausible. So if I want to become a U.S. citizen in the fastest and safest way, can I get married to a U.S. citizen, get the conditional green card, and then join the U.S. military? Would that be possible, Jim?
That's the thing. People do that. I hate that plan. I don't trust the government when they say about giving out citizenship faster. I've seen too many people get screwed over. But yes, that is something that some people have done. Yes.
How would they screw people over if foreigners are
they slow walk their citizenship, and they're always playing games with it.
So it's not 100%.
I just don't trust them. No, I think if you've watched the show long enough, you've heard people who were promised citizenship through the military complain about ways that they were treated. So, maybe it'll work. Probably it'll work, but I think joining the military is a really big thing that I wouldn't do for the sole purpose of getting citizenship. That's what I'll say.
I see. Do you think the current administration will get rid of this marriage green card thing?
I would say not marriage green card, but military citizenship. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
I see. Okay, that's all my question. Thank you, Jeff.
Peter, that was sort of strange. He didn't talk about a specific person he wanted to marry, just if he married a person. Abhi, hello.
Hello, sir. Thanks for taking my call.
Of course.
Yes, sir. I came in 2022. I crossed the border illegally with inspection. Then I applied my asylum within a year. Then after some time, I got married. My wife have a green card. And now I receive a letter from USCIS like a month before. My asylum case is dismissed, sir.
Yeah.
So, and they said you were apprehended and was in expedited removal. So I have a then I submit my I-130 and I-485 when I was in still in status. So is that okay? I am safe or not, sir?
Why did you come across the border?
Because I applied for asylum
But why?
from my country.
What country are you from?
I mean, from India, sir.
Why did you come across the border, though?
Yes, sir. I have like over there in India, like I have scared from the government,
What?
like
What?
for
What's?
religion and stuff, sir. I have a
What?
different party, and here I have a different party, sir.
Okay, so
Yes, sir.
you got caught at the border. You showed up at a port of entry. How did you enter?
So I through the border, so cross the wall, sir.
So, but then you said at some point they caught you, or what happened?
So yeah, the cop was take me and then put me in a detention center. Then they take my fingerprints, like everything,
Okay, and then
and
they
then
gave
they
you,
give me parole, sir. Parole. They release me on parole.
okay.
Yes, sir.
And so, did you say your spouse already got you? You already got your green card through your spouse, or they filed for your
No,
green?
sir. We just filed like I-130 a year before, and we filed our I-485 in April this year.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
and then and so that those cases remain pending, and
Yes, yes, sir.
you got a notice on your asylum case. That what did it say about your asylum case, and who was the letter from?
They said that's from USCIS, and they said your asylum case is dismissed. If you wanna pursue this case, just do a credible, fair interview. But I have a pending case, like pending for marriage case, still pending.
Right. So, do you have a lawyer?
I have a lawyer for my marriage case green card, but my lawyer said he is not expert in asylum. That thing, he told me to like find a lawyer if like anybody have expert in asylum. That thing.
So that's a lazy ass lawyer. That lawyer they took the easy case. They took the spouse case, and they don't want to deal with the asylum case. The things that we're talking about are too complicated to talk on the phone like this. I mean, you need someone who's your lawyer for all of it. So I would ditch that lawyer, and I'd get a new lawyer to handle your removal case and your adjustment case.
Okay, so they said I were in expedited removal. Still, I am in removal proceeding or what, sir?
Sounds like they're trying to deport you. Sounds like they don't like your parole and they want to deport you. Yeah. So I don't know. I haven't seen the paperwork, but it sounds pretty serious to me.
Oh, so that's why, sir. I'm just really confusing about this. Like,
So you and your wife need to
yes,
hire
sir.
a deportation attorney who also knows about marriage-based cases. So you need someone. The marriage part is the easy part, but the divorce is the hard, or the asylum is the hard part. So
So,
you need someone who's going to help you on the asylum stuff instead of this lawyer that you have who just took the easy part and told you to go find someone to handle the hard part. That's basically what the lawyer did.
okay, sir. I have a other question. So, if we trying to contact you guys, you can take that case for us.
Maybe. I mean, maybe. I mean, I'm worried. Did you file the asylum case by yourself?
No, I have a lawyer like for asylum case. When I came in the US, I hired a lawyer, but
Well, what
my
happened to
case is
him? What happened to
dismissed.
them?
Still,
Where are
I
they?
have him, but like he said, you have to go to the eyes, then do a credible, fair interview. But I
Yeah.
don't like. I'm just worried about like what I'm supposed to do it now.
So you and your wife need to talk to somebody who knows what they're doing, and they need to look at the whole picture. your case is cut up into all these different parts, and nobody's paying attention to whether or not you get to stay here. Silly. So yeah, I mean, if you want to hire us to do the green card and the immigration stuff, maybe we can, but we got to look at everything that's been filed so far.
Okay.
All right.
So is that application can save me? Like they give me expedited removal. The I-485 can like save me from
I don't
deportation?
know. It sounds like they want to kick you out. When did you enter?
What they said, sir?
What's the date of your entry into the United States?
I was in coming like 17 August 2022. Almost 3 years, sir.
So they can't expedite remove you because you've been here more than 2 years. So again, you need to look at everything and get a good attorney to handle your whole immigration stuff. None of this guy does asylum, this guy does
Okay.
all right. Thanks,
So
Abby.
I was trying to. Okay, sir. Thank you. I appreciate, sir.
Okay, bye-bye. David, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. All right, let's go to Bill. Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, of course. Nice to meet you.
Okay. Here's my scenario or my situation. So I'm a U.S. citizen living in California. I will plan to marry an Indonesian citizen in Jakarta this coming November. So after that, we plan to travel back to the U.S. in December on her tourist visa, then go back to Jakarta and meet her family again next February in 2025 for several months, and then come back to California in June of next year. So should I wait to file the I-30, I-130, and I-485 forms when we get back to California in June? Or
I don't think you're being realistic about the immigration realities of what it is that you're talking about. So once she marries you, she is then the spouse of a U.S. citizen. And if you and she try to come back to the United States a month after getting married, I think there's a 30% chance they don't let her back into the United States.
Oh, how can I get around that?
Well, I can't coach people how to get around the immigration rules. I could give you some education if you want about how things work. Would you like that?
Sure.
Okay. So when a U.S. citizen marries a foreign national, everybody assumes that they are going to try to sneak into the United States and get a green card. So this idea that you guys can get married and come and go from the United States, that's like not the right way to think about it. What you need to think about is if there comes a time in the future where she comes to the United States and you decide to get married on that trip, that she basically stays here until she gets her green card. You're not going to have the luxury as if she were a citizen of going back and forth to Indonesia as casually as you just set out. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So if I'm going to marry her in Indonesia, so I should wait until we're ready to come to the U.S. and then file the forms?
Well, here's what I would say. If you are insisting on getting married in Indonesia, then what you need to do is you go to Indonesia, you marry her, you come back to the United States, you file the paperwork for her, and then you wait for the 2 years that whole process takes for her to come back to the United States or to come to the United States with her green card.
Oh, so we get all of our traveling done back and forth. We wait till we get back to the U.S. and then file and just wait it out.
She can't, if she has immigrant intent, if she enters on a non-immigrant visa with the intention of getting a green card, that's called fraud.
Oh,
that's called misrepresentation.
I see. Yeah, it sounds pretty tricky.
It's very tricky.
Yeah. So I guess we just have to, from the get-go, we just have to file the I-130 right after we get married. I guess so, overseas. Wait.
And she could try to come to the United States, but at that point she's married to a U.S. citizen and she has a pending I-130, and they're going to think she's just trying to come and jump the line.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Hey,
Yeah.
Bill.
Yes.
I have spent hours talking about this topic, and this topic is probably the thing I talk about the most on our immigration YouTube channel. And there's a playlist specifically for marriage and fiance situations.
Yes.
And I would say that it sounds like you're just sort of starting your journey to learn how things really work at immigration. And if you spend some time watching those videos, you'd probably come back to me a month from now or 2 weeks from now with a lot more confidence in what it is that you're thinking about. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So it looks like I've got some researching to do.
I would say so.
Okay. All right.
Just watch the show. We talk about this all the time on the show. So whatever you want to do is fine, but we've got lots of resources out there for you. In fact, sorry, there's one specifically about, hey, if I have someone overseas that I'm thinking about bringing here to the United States, there's a video specifically on that.
Okay, so I guess I'll need to go through your past episodes then.
Well, don't do the live show. Just look in the playlist for marriage and overseas. Like there's a video like, if my spouse is overseas, what do I do?
Okay.
All right.
All right. I
Bill.
appreciate that.
Yep. Or if you want our help, we can help you navigate the whole thing. We could have a meeting with you and her. If you want to hire us to help, we can do that too. Thanks, Bill.
All right. Thank you.
See you, buddy. All right, Julio, maybe have someone reach out to Bill and see if we can help him out. All right. Somebody's having a hard time figuring out how to get into the ask me a question. So the first thing you need to do is text the word show, just like it says on the bottom there. Text the word show to 314-470-3300. And when we're going to do a live show, you'll get a link and you can come and ask me a question. When you do that, the link is always the same. It's just about telling you when you are, when we're actually going live. So that's the big thing about the texting now. All right. Omaru says he's moved up to being a senior. I think Omaru maybe junior. Yeah, David had his own PhD before he got here, but Robert and Laura have been here a long time. A long-time listener. Hello.
Hey, Jim. Thank you for all you do.
Of course.
I have a question. This is more about my mom, but also a lot of Nepalese TPS holders in general.
Yep.
So my mom came to the U.S. in a B1, B2 in 2015 in June. And because of the earthquake, Nepal got a TPS designation on the 24th of June.
Right.
And she's been in TPS this whole time, and she's been renewing it every year. And she's been here for 10 years. She didn't go back to Nepal or anything.
Okay.
But so recently they canceled the TPS designation for Nepal. That was supposed to end on August 5th initially. And then there was the U.S. District Court judge in San Francisco that said, oh, just wait until November 18th, and we're going to do another hearing because this doesn't look right how you guys canceled it.
Yep.
Which got overturned by the Ninth Circuit and said, okay, cancel immediately.
Right.
And yesterday they canceled all the EAD cards and everything for Nepal. So it's kind of a tricky situation for everyone. My mom, so I am a permanent resident. I'm married to a U.S. citizen, and I've had my conditional green card for a year now. My mom is planning to go back to Nepal, and I'm thinking about applying for her I-130 when I become a U.S. citizen. My question is, because now I'm not sure if these couple days that she's been here is counting as like a legal stay, or this whole time, like, is it going to be a problem when I apply for that 130 and she's trying to get the visa to come here?
What was her status on the day that she got TPS?
She was in B1, B2. She had been in the U.S. for about a month. She had a 6-month.
And when do you think? So she's had that plus TPS all the way through till now.
Yeah, so she had a 5-year B1, B2, which got ended in 2020.
Oh,
But
wait,
she's
hold
been
on.
in.
So we got to talk about that. So when did she enter the United States?
She entered June 5th of 2015, and she applied for TPS within that 6-month initial stay already.
Okay, good.
So she was never out of status per se.
Okay. And then when do you think she's going to leave to Nepal?
So with all this confusion, she's honestly like, okay, we're going back in the next few weeks or months, but there is another hearing on November 18th, so we're not sure what's going to happen. But
right,
if it's okay for her to leave and come back later when I apply for her, she's okay with leaving sooner than later.
Right. So as long as she doesn't have 6 months of unlawful presence, then she won't have a bar on coming back. So if she's over 6 months, that's a 3-year bar. So I think you have a little bit of time to play with it. Probably not much. And if she's ready to go, I'd probably let her go sooner rather than later.
Yeah, that's probably a better idea than sticking around and see what the decision is going to happen, because this way or that way, they're probably going to get rid of the program eventually.
Yeah, it's going to the Supreme Court. So they're not, everyone says Ninth Circuit's so liberal, but of course they just screwed all the Nepalese TPS holders. So I don't think the Supreme Court's going to bail them out.
Yeah, so just wanted to know if it's safe for her to do that, because she has no one in Nepal, so she has to wait a few years and come back here illegally. So
right. Thanks for the call and thanks for watching.
Well, thank you. Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right. What's going on TikTok? Got green card for my wife following your advice. Thank you. SS hasn't arrived. 2 months already. Normal delay. These days, I think that is a normal delay. I would go to the Social Security office and talk to them. Is it safe to travel with a conditional green card? Check my channel. I talk about this all the time. I'm not answering that anymore because I've answered it so many times. Can you talk about citizenship and good moral character? So on our YouTube channel, I sat down and I spent all day editing a 15-minute video on good moral character and citizenship. So everything you would ever want to know is in that video. So go to Jim Hacking or Hacking Immigration Law, his YouTube channel. It's like the second or third most recent video that we posted. My husband isn't on the rent lease because he doesn't have a state ID. Will it be a problem at the 45 interview? I would say yes. You always want to have your husband on the lease. You got to figure out a way to get him on the lease, or you need to prove that he lives there. Can I call this number that you pinned? So, I need to talk about that. So, our phone number is 314-961-8200. We don't do consults. We don't do paid consults. No one will ever send you a request on Zelle or Venmo or anywhere asking you to pay for a consult with me. So somebody sent me a pretty detailed scam off of TikTok where somebody was pretending to be me and pretending to hit them up for, I think it was $100 for a consult. So again, not me. We don't do that. So our official phone number is 314-961-8200. For our international friends, Huli will put up the WhatsApp number because I don't know it. She's saying she's pointing now. It's probably on the bottom of the screen here in a second. Here it comes. How's that for perfect timing? WhatsApp 314-685-6254. But again, we don't do paid consults. We don't do free consults. We don't do consults at all, right? We just do this show. And if you want to call us, that's because you want to hire us. All right. Let's go to Hey Jim.
Hello, Jim.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. It's my first time here, so.
Well, thanks. Welcome.
Yeah. So I just want to ask you something. I recently heard. I always listen to your show, so thank you so much for that. By the way.
Sure.
So I recently heard a guy that he was from Mexico. He was on your show. I don't know if you remember, and he said like he had a similar situation that I have right now.
With the birth certificate, that said he was born in California or whatever?
No. It was related to the Social Security number that he used a made-up number to apply for employment.
Yeah, I remember.
So I have a similar situation about that. That kind of worries me a lot. So, I mean,
I think they're going to do all kinds of stuff to try to twist So let me put it this way. So historically, a false claim to citizenship is I'm a U.S. citizen, like on an I-9, on a bank loan, to get a voter registration card. Those are sort of the typical false claims to citizenship. I believe that they're going to start saying that things like that things that only citizens usually can do, like getting a driver's license or paying taxes, that if there's anything in those processes that look like something a citizen would do, then they're going to try to expand what a false claim to citizenship is and catch more people in that note. Now, you might not have heard, or you might not have watched my video yet on the false claim to citizenship stuff. I think this new rule they have is illegal because there are regulations governing how USCIS is supposed to interpret it, and I think that what they're doing now is far beyond what the regulations currently are.
Right.
So I think that, and also I think there's an argument that they can't apply it retroactively. So I think it's ripe for litigation. Obviously, you don't ever want to be the one arguing that because you're fighting it out in court, and none of that stuff's fun. It's very stressful, all that stuff, right?
Sure. I mean, it's already stressful for the, just the application. I'm just waiting for it, like, seeing ice around literally in your neighborhood, and you are like, oh my God, I've been there. Like, what if ice was there,
What do you have? What do you have pending? You have something pending right now?
Yeah, it's a marriage case.
A marriage green card?
Yeah, to a U.S. citizen.
And so on your 45, what are the questions that's worrying you?
I mean, I kind of thought about that, because I feel like I'm really thinking this. So I went through my, 485 like so many times.
Yeah.
So I have a lawyer. I filed it with a lawyer, and I mentioned to him, like, look, I worked without authorization on this place for like 3 years. I put a made up social because, I was young, I was stupid. I mean, I really, I just thought like, oh yeah, it's fine. I mean, I'm not claiming to be a U.S. citizen. I mean, that's the only thing that I knew, that it was like really, really bad. So I'm
Right.
like, yeah. So I told him about it, and he said, yeah, we should put there that you work without authorization, mention the place, and just
And then leave it at that, and see what
yeah,
happens.
yeah,
I think that's all you can do.
sure. I mean, yeah, because I also read a comment that a guy, I think it was David, or I'm not really sure who was it, but I like to read the comments too, and I read that he said that because I also file taxes, but not with the social, because I got the tax ID number to pay for the taxes. So he mentioned that just like when you prepare the taxes, they add the W-2s. So
Somebody
the
did. I saw that in the comments too. I don't know that that's true. I think that was somebody just saying that. I don't know that that's true. I mean, that's a question you could ask. Well,
I mean, I even tried to go to the IRS website now that I have a social security number to see if I can get my transcripts to see if it's there or something. I mean, I don't know. It's just it's been really, really hard. Like, I'm just going crazy about this. I'm really worried. I've been here for 10 years. I came when I was 15, so I literally grew up here to be an adult. Like
and you were inspected.
Yeah, I came with a visa. Yeah, with a too.
So as in the traditional way of false claims to citizenship, you don't have anything like that, like no I-9.
No. No.
I think you're going to be okay.
Okay.
But let us know how it goes, okay?
Sure, I will. Yeah. Thank you so much, Jim. Like, I really, really appreciate your help. Like, everything that you do, like, just listening to everybody's, struggle. Like, it's just, I mean, I don't want to say relaxing because that sounds like bad, but like, it gives you peace. Like, you are like, oh my God, I'm not the only one going through this. Like, there is a lot of people, and there is good people, getting their green cards, and it's a really good show, and thank you so much for
Thanks for the
everything
call.
you do.
I hope it all works out. Keep me posted, okay?
I will let you know. Thank you, Jim.
Bye. All right. We're at the half-hour mark on the show. Nice to see everybody watching and learning and sharing and feeling better. Soothing, I think, is the word. I like that. I mean, immigration therapy is something else that's fun. I think that people have phrased this. I get that. I have a question. for the comments. Let us know. Do you guys, especially the ones who used to watch the show, so remember in the old days we would have people on camera, and of course we all miss that, having people on camera, because there were really funny things that happened on camera, especially when the brothers were sleeping or laying down like this without their shirt on, or their muscle man shirts on. Amara, I'll do that in just a second. And now here's what I want to know. Let me know in the comments, do you just listen to the show and do other stuff? Like, or do you actually watch? Because it's just me like farting around. So I think most people just listen, right? And like are doing other stuff. Or although, it's sort of weird. Like we can see in the metrics, like 30% of people watch this on their YouTube streaming device or something. So Rebel says, I'm working and listening. WSTT says, I was once on camera. You helped my wife get a green card. Thanks. Quick question. Well, let's see if the KB says I'm listening while cooking. Mary says both watch and do stuff. Twin says both. Joe Mama is here. Oh my God, Joe Mama's here. That's like our favorite joke at the house. Joe who? Joe Mama. Joe Mama's listening and working. Navarro says, I just became a citizen. How long does the process take to petition a brother? About 20 years. McDonald says, I'm listening whilst eating. Oh, whilst is one of my favorite words. Whilst. I think whilst is something we need to bring back in America. People need to say whilst more. WHILST instead of while. I think whilst is better. I like that so much. It's so great. What a great word that is. Valley says I'm watching. I really don't know why anyone's watching on TikTok because I don't even look at the camera. I'm just looking at you guys on YouTube. So that's funny. The phone number, 314-470-3300 is on is the text the word show to get in. And the WhatsApp is coming. I'll give it to you in just a second. It's 314-685-6254. That's not such a great number. I should memorize it, but that's sort of hard. Just watching videos. I just watch while I work, clean, cook. I'm listening and sleeping, a freak says. Yeah, see, I know Laura just listens. Laura's listen, but she's always chatting and stuff. All right. Here's a good one. No camera has made it easier to listen while driving, but still like to watch you laugh, get mad, and drink your Diet Coke. I'm in the waiting room now. Well, Mauricio will try to get you in here. Juli, try to get Mauricio in here so I can talk to Mauricio. Mo, not Joe, Mo. Hello, Mo. You're on mute, as Juli likes to say. Yeah, whilst is England English. That's right. That's why I like it. Joseph's watching. We'll come back to Mo. Maybe Mo's taking a nap, like our friend. What was his name? Sleeping Joshua. That was so funny. Did you guys, for those of you who saw Joshua sleeping, did you know he called back and said he watched himself snoozing and snoring on the show, and then he called back because he wanted to talk about all that. He had a case. Justin, hello.
Hey,
Justin.
Jim.
There you go, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing okay, man. I just got some bad news and need some advice. So, yeah, I've been watching your show for some time and stuff. I did the I-485 without an attorney, and man, I just gave it my best. But yeah, I got an RFE, tried to submit that it had to do with the I-864, and yeah, my case was just denied. So
I have a video out there that says no adjustment of status case should get denied for an I-864. Literally, no, that's like inexcusable. What happened? What do you think is the problem?
I got my parents to be sponsors. I don't make a whole lot,
Sure.
And I don't know if it was something with taxes or the way I submitted things or something on the way I signed it or I don't know. They're not that specific on the RFE, but I tried to give it, everything I could. And, obviously I think we're going to get it. I mean, from your videos, an NTA or something that puts us, a little worried, scared, what it all means. But
talk to me about your spouse. So you're the U.S. citizen, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
So
She's From Mexico, yeah.
And was she in status when you filed or out of status?
So I did the I-130 first. I didn't do concurrent filing. I did the I-130 first, and she was in status. And then the 485 didn't get done till later, and that she was out of status. Yeah.
Why did you separate it out?
I didn't know that you had to do them at the same time, and I was trying to do the I-130 first before she went out of status.
Okay, can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can you give everyone your current thoughts on filing an immigration case for the woman you love but without a lawyer?
Yeah. I thought that it would that I could do it myself, mainly from a financial point of view, and just getting married and to a foreigner, and wanting to save like 10 grand, and thinking that it was the best thing to do, and that I could, with YouTube and ChatGPT, I could pull it off.
Thank you for that. Has the I-130 been approved?
No, it's still pending.
And when did you file the I-130 and when did you file the 485?
February was the I-130 and the 45 was in April.
And she came on a visit visa?
On a B1, B2 last August.
And do you know about the 1-800 number?
No.
Okay, I'm going to put the 1-800 number in the comments because
So
she
what
has
about for your if she has to go to court or something like that?
Yep.
Okay.
So you should be checking that every day. She has an alien number now. You can check online too, but you should check every day to see if she's been put in removal because sometimes the NTA doesn't come.
Okay, I checked it when they first denied it and she wasn't there, but I don't know if it takes time to,
It can, yeah. So every day. So, but here's the thing. Well, who's going to be the co-sponsor now if your parents didn't qualify, or if you think it was a paperwork problem, or they actually didn't qualify?
No, they make substantial a lot more, and it definitely qualifies. But I don't know if there's something else in the case. But that was what the RFE was about. I can't think if it was I didn't follow something right or something. So I have to get a letter. Yeah,
they sent you an RFE,
mm-hmm.
and then after that, they just denied it. They didn't send you a notice of intent to deny or anything.
Yeah, they sent an RFE, and then I mailed it like a week later. Everything, I uploaded everything, and mailed it as well. And then they told me like on Monday of last week, we received your RFE, even though it was like a couple months later. And then a few days later, they said denied.
Okay. Well, if you need our help, let me know. I mean, if I'm you, I'm trying to get a new 485 on file this week before she gets put into removal. Because if you get it on file before she's in removal, that's a whole lot better than having to do it all in court. Plus with the threat of deportation.
With the I-130, do you just do that all over again as well, even though it's pending?
No. You don't have to do the I-130 pending. I mean, as long as we don't think there's anything in the I-130 that was wrong. Did you keep a copy of everything?
Yeah, I have a copy of everything.
Yeah. So if you want our help, we'd be happy to help. Otherwise, get that thing on file as fast as you can. And
yeah, I definitely need to do it with an attorney for sure.
Okay. Well, Julie's got your contact. We'll reach out first thing tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'll reach out to you now, and then thank you so much, man. Just last question. You're saying if we put a 485 on file like soon, even before an NTA comes, then it kind of like doesn't let them mail it or something?
No, they can still mail it, but it's just going to be better for us to get it on file as fast as we can. And the hope is that she gets to adjust at USCIS and not in court, because that's going to be a lot more expensive and stressful and all that stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect, Jim. Hey, bro. Thank you so much, man.
Thanks, Justin. See you, buddy.
Yep. Bye.
All right. Julio check in on old Justin. We're going to go to AJ and then Navi. Hello, AJ.
Hi there, Jim. Thank you very much for doing what you're doing.
My pleasure.
Yeah, and my case is my situation with my parents. They are eligible. They will be filing for N400, and both of them have illnesses, including cognitive illnesses too. So they're going to be filing N648 or 468. I completely forgot. So the doctors have signed off. I am just very confused. When we go to the interview, do I go with them? Because they also speak completely different language of India that I speak. And I contacted USCIS phone number. They said they don't have that language. It's called Sindhi, Sindhi. So do I go, and would they let me do it? Because I'm their son. I could be partial. I mean who knows what they think and how they do. And that's one of the questions. The second question is about
Wait, let's do this one first. How long have mom and dad, this is your mom and dad?
Yeah.
How long have mom and dad had their green cards?
5, 6 years, I think.
And how old are they?
One is 70, one is 62.
So mom and dad have to take the N400 in their own language?
No, they can't remember and write and read English, so we had them filled out this N468 by the doctors.
Well, okay. Did a lawyer prepare that with the doctors, or the doctor? You just went to the doctors and said, "Hey, I need you to fill this out."
I studied about it, and the doctor already knew because the doctor is at the downtown. He said he had already filled several for other people, and my parents are very low income too, so they go to this doctor who was expert at filling. They knew what they were doing.
How long? So, is this a drive-by evaluation, or is this someone that your parents have treated with?
No, big hospital.
No, that's not my question. Have they been treating with this doctor for a long time?
Yes.
How long?
1.5 years, and even prior to that, some symptoms of memory and heart issues, and some big eye illnesses too. So there are multiple illnesses.
Any of that stuff except for the mental issues. So you're telling me this one doctor, the doctor who signed the N648, is the doctor who has treated them for 1.5 years for their mental declines?
Yes, 2 different doctors, mom, different doctor, dad, different doctor. But yes, they've been treating, they are the PCP.
Okay. Well, what's your question for me? Do I think it's going to get approved? I don't think so. I think 648.
I was wondering what happens in the interview, like who is going to translate and things like that with this language.
They don't get a translator.
So how does that work? I mean, when they,
if you'd asked me, Jim, should I file this case? I would have said no.
And what is your recommendation? How do we get this going?
I don't believe the doctor has treated them long enough for this specific issue. And if I had to bet $90, that both of their 648s are insufficient to get approved. And once that happens, then USCIS treats it like any other naturalization case. They're not going to let you in. They're not going to let you translate, and they're going to deny both those cases. That's what's going to happen. They're actually going to give your parents the test, and your parents aren't going to know which end is up. They're not going to know any of the questions or answers, and they're not even going to know the language. So this was a waste of time. And did you file for a fee waiver?
The fee waiver, it's not filed yet. This is all in the process.
Okay. Well, so far you haven't even gotten close, as far as what I think, to getting this case approved. You need a whole lot more work than what you've put into it so far.
Okay, so maybe an attorney needs to look into it and probably do it. So I myself trying to figure out. I mean, it logically wasn't making sense to me that who was going to talk in the interview. How are they going to do? Do they allow family members to interpret?
I don't remember. It's been such a long time. I would always advocate that we have someone who's not a family member. Yep.
Okay, but in regularity, have you seen family member interpreting? Because in online, which is bad research, it says
I don't remember. To tell you the truth, I just don't remember because it's been so long. I mean, in our office, we turn down 90% of the N648s that we get asked for help.
Oh,
because it's very, very hard to get approved, even if Biden was president.
I see. And in the hopes of because it is true. It's not just to
Oh, I'm sure it's true too. There's lots of things that are true, but they don't approve them.
Yeah, that's true. And in their case, I have personally given tests to them and questions to them, and next day nothing remembers by them. So
Yeah.
and
That's a
the
good
rest
thing.
of
That's a good thing to tell the doctor and have them put in the notes. But you need, if you really want to try to pull this off, you need one
yeah,
doctor treating them for another year just on this mental issue, and you need to develop medical records to get to then form the basis of the opinion that they can't learn English and can't
I
mimic the test.
Gotcha. And do they require marriage certificate? It's one of the requirements in the checklist of N400. Do we have to have a marriage certificate for them? I mean, they've been married for a very long time, but is
Sure.
that one of those things that would be required?
So you need to look up the visa reciprocity table to think about when were they married and what records. You look up their country of origin and the visa reciprocity table, and it'll tell you what documents the State Department and USCIS by extension expects them to be able to get.
I see. And I studied it. I studied your GMC rules. You discussed those are new things that are added. I know it doesn't have a documentation list as to what is required to be prepared for GMC new rules. Are there any kind of specific document, like for community involvement? Do they need a letter? It doesn't say that anywhere in the memo, and it's just unclear. So, are we submitting documents or not submitting, and just carrying some things to interview? Such as character certificate or whatever. I mean, this is just brand new to me, and
Sure. Well,
I'm thinking,
it's brand new to all of us, brother. It's only been a rule for 10 days. So where we have landed at our office, at least for now, until we see things differently, is our thought is get the case on file and bring the evidence to the interview.
okay, I see. And it's not a clear checklist, so just guesstimating.
Yeah, as far as letters, I think letters aren't very compelling to USCIS. They have to be notarized affidavits.
Okay, I see. Gotcha. So I appreciate it, and that's all. Any other thing that you might be able to suggest to hire an attorney is the only way to do it? And you said you do not do those, and
We do. No, we do them.
640.
We do them. They're just really hard, and everyone's got to be realistic about the chances. These are very hard to get approved.
Okay, gotcha.
Thanks,
Thank
AJ.
you very much.
Hey, buddy. Of course. I sort of like Emma Fetela's advice. Just leave the old people them alone. I think there's something to be said for that. Just leave those old people alone. I sort of like that. Let's go back to Mo. Mo, are you there?
Hey, sir, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thank you, Mo.
Really appreciate your time. My story is a little bit complicated,
Okay.
so I'm just gonna start from the beginning.
Perfect.
To 2021, I applied for a K1 visa, and I attended my interview, and everything was good. They took my passport. They said we should print your visa within 5 days. So 2 3 days later, they sent me an email. They asked me to submit a DS5535, which I did. And then I stayed in IB for almost 7 months. And I think my fiance filed mandamus lawsuit. And then a month later, we got refused under 212A3B, which is I don't know why. Um, and then we applied for the marriage visa, and a year later.
Uh-huh.
So I went to the interview. Everything was good. They took my passport again, and during I'm from Iraq, so you know what happened last. The situation was the war. What happened? They sent all the passport back, and I'm still stuck now for almost 8 months. Um, I did mention the DS 160 for the K1. I used to work served in the Iraqi army for a year or so, but I didn't provide any documents. So this time I provided every documents they asked for, plus the recommendation working with the US Army as interpreter for a long time and all of that. So I just don't know what's happening, and I have a twin boys. They're gonna be 1 year old, and we've been just talking since
The I-130 has the
until now.
I-130 has the I-130 been approved by USCIS?
Yes.
And so are you documentally qualified on the I-130?
Yes, sir. And I attended to my interview like 8 months ago in
Oh, that's
Baghdad
what was
embassy.
okay.
Yeah.
So have you done a Freedom of Information Act request from the State Department?
We did it, but it was so difficult to get anything back. We only got it from the USCIS, which is the same documents that we submit the first time.
So when you were in the Iraqi military, were you very, very low level, mid level, high level? What?
Just a soldier, like regular.
And what year?
2013 until 2014. I just left. I was injured and then I left the army.
And sorry if I'm not all up to date on exact Iraq history in 2013 and 14. Was the Iraqi government involved in any combat at that time?
Yes, but I left like before few months after that I left the army
So who were they in combat with when you were in that little time period?
with ISIS in some places.
So they were combating ISIS.
Yes.
Working, I would assume, with the U.S. Army, right?
I mean, we get support from the U.S. Army. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you in other words, the Iraqi government and the U.S. government were on the same side at that time.
Yes, sir.
And so there was never a time where you were in the Iraqi government or in the Iraqi military where what you were doing was contrary to what America was doing.
No, sir.
And you haven't been able to get any more details from anybody about the 212A3B designation.
No, sir. We couldn't. But as I told you, I used to work as an interpreter, and until this moment, I work with an American company.
Right. Yeah. So sadly, I've seen this movie before. What state does your wife live in?
California.
Okay. So, I don't generally believe that members of Congress can do much to help someone like you and your wife. But one thing that we have seen some success on is at least finding out why the State Department is saying that about you, right? So
Yes.
if I were your wife, I would dress up nice, make some cookies, bring your twins, and go to the office of either her congressperson, if they're a Democrat, otherwise to Adam Schiff's office, and say, I need to talk to the immigration liaison, tell them the story, bring the paperwork, and say, I need your help, not in getting my husband his visa. I need your help in finding out why they are categorizing him this way, and what, if anything, your office can do to help us. And then let me know what happens when they do that, or when you get that information back. Call me back and just call the office and say, I'm Mo. I was on the show with Jim. I need to talk to him.
Okay, sir. So should I do that now? Have her to do that now, or just wait another 2-3 months and see what's gonna happen?
Your case is stuck, brother. If you ever come to the United States, we'll be very, very lucky. So I would, either go to Adam Schiff's or Alex Padilla, Robert's TO, Alex, and talk to them. I would go to Schiff's office, although I guess Padilla's been senator longer. So I would go to Padilla's office, or maybe both. And I wouldn't do both. That would piss them off. Just pick one of them, whichever is easier and faster to go see, and then try to get their help. You want to find out what's in the State Department file that's holding up your case, because somebody put a black mark on it and you can't see it yet.
Okay, sir. So that's about, now you're talking about the marriage visa, right?
Yeah, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing's held up. The same thing that held you up the first time is what's holding you up this time.
Okay, sir. I'll do that. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Mo.
Thank
See you,
you so
buddy.
much.
Yeah, of course. That just sucks. Everyone likes the new haircut. It was getting pretty shaggy. Yeah, I needed it. Navi's here. Hello.
How are you doing, sir?
Good. How are you?
Yes. Yeah, very good, sir. So, sir, I did everything in my process. I want to share with you if I did anything wrong in
Okay.
my process. So, I'm originally from India and living in the state of Ohio for 10 years. I entered without inspection 2013 and filed asylum. And I never have a court date. And in 2016, I got married with the U.S. citizen, file I-130. So when I filed I-130, it got approved in a year. And then my lawyer did not want to terminate my case. He said, if we terminate your case, we're going to lose your work permit. So instead terminate, he did a administration closure. Sound familiar? And then judge agreed to close my case so I can renew my work permit. And then file a I-601A waiver. And it takes like 3 years. And now my I-601A waiver approved. Then we file a paperwork with the NVC.
Yeah.
And we filed it. The NVC did documentary qualified me, and now the attorney still not wanted to terminate my case. He said if I go for termination now, judge going to be voluntary departure and is gonna only give you 4 months to leave the country. So now it's been 9 months since I'm documentary qualified. My interview still not came yet, but now he said it's time. Now we can go for termination. So he filed termination. In less than 2 weeks, judge called over there. We went over there for my termination. So he was right. He did termination my case, but he only gives me 4 months to leave the country. So I did not have my interview still. And I went to my local congressman and they said, we have a big backlog. So I'm trying to push every angle so I can have my interview before 4 months. So the process my attorney did, is it right? Because why, like, judge making me leave the country?
Because he works for Donald Trump.
I
think you should bake a cake and kiss your lawyer's hand, because I think your lawyer's done a great job for you.
Yeah, he said that they always do that. Ohio judges, he said like that. He said we have 5 judges and they all strict and they don't believe no asylum. And he said that he's going to voluntary departure. He said he already know that.
I think your lawyer has done a fantastic job, and I think trying to get your case moving is fine for interview. But you might be out of the United States for more than 4 months. That's just how it is. But other than that, this is a great result.
Okay, so the congressman did not help me. So is there any other way I can go, you think? Like how I get, because other people who I know, they get their interview 6 months, some of them 8 months.
Yeah. But you have a complicated history, brother. You're talking about in deportation, at USCIS, at the State Department. You can't compare your case to regular people getting their interview in 6 months. Yours is messy.
Even like people in the same category like me, they have their 601 but they are from different states like California. I don't
think states have anything to do with it. Do you have any other reasons to worry that you might be inadmissible to the United States? Anything else that you're worried the State Department might beat you up over when you get there?
No, not at all. No.
Okay, good.
Just don't want to be separate. Don't want to leave my spouse.
When did you get documented qualified?
From today, like 9 months ago.
And when did the 601A get approved?
That is a couple months before documentary qualified.
Yeah, so I would say if you leave at the end of the 4 months and you still don't have an interview, and then like 4 more months go by, if you're stuck outside the United States for long, then the only other thing you could do is try to sue them. But they're filing lots of motions to dismiss when there hasn't been an interview yet. That's the problem.
My attorney says it's taking at least a year, but it's not a year yet. But he said we have other clients, and what do you think? Like in Mumbai, India, how long they are? I know that on their State Department of the website, they said they're scheduling interview who's documentary qualified May 2025, and I'm documentary qualified on December 2024.
But again, your case is as messy as they see over there. So I don't think you can. I don't think you're comparing apples to apples.
Oh, okay. So, do I have to worry about anything? I mean, I got a clean history, and
you have to worry. You're going to get on a plane and leave the United States, not sure if you're going to be able to come back. Yeah, you got to worry about something. Of course you do.
So,
I mean, aren't you going to be nervous when you leave the United States?
I mean, I'm not going to be nervous to go to my interview.
You're not?
I mean,
what if they don't let you back in? What if they don't let you back in?
I mean, I'm prepared. I'm whatever they're going to ask me.
Okay. Well, hopefully it'll all work out. Okay.
So, do you think that I should not go?
No, you should go. I would go, but it's going to be. I'd be nervous as hell. Not trying to scare you, but
it's just like, we are like 10 group of people. Like everybody comes back from Mumbai, India. So, somehow have a same removal proceeding. That's why I'm pretty confident in my case too. Like,
all right. Well, good luck. Let us know how it goes. Okay. Thanks, Navi.
All right. Thanks.
Bye, buddy. Nurse Laura says Apples to Apples is a great game. I haven't played that one in a while, but that was a family favorite. N400. Hello.
Hello, sir. Thank you for taking my question.
Sure.
How are you doing today?
Good.
Good. So I watched a video, like a short video on YouTube for you actually were in California and you were attending like something like a G336 for like appeal for N400.
Yeah.
It was like a month ago. Yeah. So, I mean, is this like a new trend for USCIS to be more kind of strict when they kind of like do the N400, or is it just this particular office in California?
Well, that's a great question, and I'm glad you brought that case up because my good friend Robert has been asking me for an update, and I actually have an update on that fucking N336. And just as I predicted, that asshole officer didn't listen to a damn thing that I said, and he denied my client's N336, and it is literally the dumbest denial that I've ever read. Literally in the top 5 dumbest denials that I've ever read. So you've hit a sore subject. So let me pontificate for a minute, and then I will answer your question, okay?
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. So for everybody to reset, this is a client who came to the United States, applied for asylum on a visit visa as a Christian Egyptian, and she filed for that before her visit visa expired. And USCIS never got off their ass to interview her on the asylum case. She waits and waits and waits. She marries a green card holder, and she applies for a green card based on that marriage. USCIS screws around with the case forever. They finally deny it, saying that she was out of status at the time that she married the green card holder and applied for adjustment. They're wrong. The law does not say that she wasn't in status. The law says that if you apply for asylum while your visit visa is pending, or while your 6-month stay is valid, then you can stay here, and that as long as the asylum case wasn't delayed because of you, then you can adjust if you marry a U.S. citizen or even through employment. I've taken that position. So Robert says that part of Southern California is pretty conservative. Oh, I know it, Robert. I know it for sure. And as you guys know, I say it all the time, USCIS offices take on the personality of the area in which they live. So my client and I filed an N336, and we went to the hearing. And so one thing, caller, for you to understand, I don't think there's a spike in them making us file more N336s. I don't think that's it. I do think they're screwing around with naturalization, and I'll talk about that in a minute when I'm done with my story. So we show up there, and I've briefed, there's case law that says I'm right and they're wrong. He doesn't read any of it. I know he's not reading it. I walk him through the argument. He's completely ignoring me. And I knew the whole time he wasn't listening. And he wrote back and he said, well, it is true. This is what he said. He said, it is true that you applied for asylum and that your asylum was pending at the time you married your spouse and applied for your green card. But here's what he hung his hat on. After you got your green card, then you withdrew your asylum case. So therefore, that bridge of the asylum case no longer applied. But she already had her green card, you moron. And so the client was upset. She wasn't mad at me. She knew, just like me, that fool was not listening to us during the N336 hearing. And so I'm happy to report that we have filed suit in federal court, Robert, in, I guess it's the Central District of California, against USCIS to overturn this stupid decision. So that's my update on that old case. I know that's not what you were calling about N400. You wanted to know, Jim, do you think they're starting to play more games on N400s? And I think that the revisions that they've made to the policy manual as it relates to good moral character and to false claims to citizenship, that both of those are designed specifically to, again, as I always say, they really want to slow down legal immigration to the United States, and they're doing that by tightening the noose around people applying for citizenship. So yes, I think they are, and I actually think they're telling us what they're doing by issuing these updates to the policy manual, doing things that they claim will make it harder for people to get citizenship. But if one of my clients gets screwed around with one of their stupid rule changes that I believe are contrary to the law and contrary to the statute and the regulations, then we'll challenge those too.
Okay. So for this case,
why did I ever call this guy? Sorry.
Yeah, for this case, do they revoke the green card or recess it if is it like less than 5 years? And do they do that for technicalities or even if no misrepresentation or no fraud?
Knock on wood. They have not in my case. And of course, in my case, it would be stupid. Do you know why? Because now her husband's a U.S. citizen. So he in worst case scenario, if they try to screw around, she just has to file a new I-130 and a 45 because they're saying she never should have got her green card, which is wrong. But worst case scenario, she just loses all of her time prior in status, which is why we're appealing. But I do think there are cases like this where the marriage is no longer ongoing, and those people are going to probably see trouble with their green cards, right? I do think that you're going to start seeing them denying N400s and seeing if they can take away the green cards. And that 5-year rule that so many people hang their hat on, they get around that all the time by just saying they're initiating new removal proceedings. Now, they just got pounded in court for trying to do that, but that's one of their oldest tricks in the book.
Yes. So usually when they deny the N400, they don't kind of refer it to immigration court, or what happens next? Like, let's say you have to sue them. They don't take further actions.
Yeah. So, well, I would say in normal times, no. But they're promising to do more of that. They're promising to do more of sending people to removal. What are you worried about? Is there something in particular?
Not really. Just technicalities, because I was in removal, and we closed the case and kind of but the past immigration history. I mean, there is no fraud, no misrepresentation. I just was in removal, and I know that it is harder to adjust the status when you're in removal, and they kind of they be more tough with people in removal.
You get out of removal?
So I'm married to a U.S. citizen, and she sponsored me, and she got my green card, and I'm still married to her, and we have a house together. We share everything, so it's they call it bona fide marriage, so real valid, and there's nothing to worry about. But it's just being in removal, and then sometimes they would if you don't terminate the case, and then they they don't like you adjust. They look at the termination order, and they try to kind of like see if is it before or is it after during like um, like the like USCIS has the kind of like the rule to adjust you if you terminate your case. So the case was terminated. They kind of uh, like they file like sorry, they adjust my status, but I'm just like a little confused because I was in removal and I don't know like if there's anything they can just like bring my removal
No,
proceedings and on
they
the
should.
table.
No, I think you'll be okay. Did you get a 10-year green card or a 2-year green card? Probably
I
10.
got a 10-year, yeah, 10-year green card. I married my wife while I was in removal, so
Mhm.
that's the concern. Like, I mean, they usually like look at these marriages with like more kind of like
Yeah,
um,
you had to prove it at a higher level, but you
yeah,
did. So, I mean,
yes,
if I were you and I wanted to feel better, one thing you might do while you're waiting for the time to apply for citizenship is you might do an EOIR FOIA and get your whole immigration court file, and then do a USCIS FOIA, just see if there's anything in there that worries you.
yes, and for this actually, like, how long does it take, like nowadays?
For citizenship?
No, actually, for the FOIA.
Oh,
Like
FOIA?
if I were to apply for it and my case is not like because I was in removal, so there's like the EOIR, I guess.
Yeah. Yep.
So I have like
That'll take longer, but the USCIS FOIA shouldn't take long, and then EOIR you should be able to get in about 3 months or so.
And it is it
Go ahead.
included like when I submit the USCIS request for FOIA? Is it?
Usually not. You got to do both.
Yeah, okay. So even if I have filed for like kind of like paperwork with the immigration court, they're not gonna include it. Like they have
Most
to.
likely not.
Okay. And
Hey,
it takes like.
how did you get in removal in the first place?
So I was on an asylum case, and I was referred to the immigration judge.
So you entered on a visa?
Yes, on a visa and admitted, and I met my wife, and like we married, and for love and everything, and after like within the 2 years, like before the 2 years of our marriage, she filed for my I-130, and it got approved right away. So I mean, I was in removal, and they usually do like interview, um, and usually they need like more evidence and stuff like that. But that wasn't the case, so they approved it, which is good thing because our marriage is valid. We got married in church, and we have the same belief, the same life, same everything, sharing everything. So it's like normal couple. And actually, like it just that's why I'm not very worried. But I know that during this time, this climate in the immigration, it just like you can see surprises, like or you can things could happen. You know what I mean? Like even like normal people, legit people, everything can they can just surprise you with anything.
I think it's okay to be nervous, but I don't think you have anything to be nervous about. I think you're fine.
Okay, and for this, like for when they review the whole case, do they go back to the I-130 and say and ask why didn't you have an interview? You were in removal, stuff like that. Do they?
Well, I mean, yes, they go back to that, but you can't answer that question. That's out of your control.
Okay, so once it's approved, like the I-130, I-485, even if I was in removal, that's like a done case.
Yep. Thanks for the call.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
You got it. All right, we're going to go to Jessica, then Sam. Jessica, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Huli's making faces. I don't know why. I'm good, Jessica. How are you doing?
Oh, a little stressed, but very grateful for your advice. I called a few weeks back before having my interview for the 130, and
How'd
you
it go?
recommended. It was so terrifying, to be honest. It was kind of a blur, but you recommended that I write the letter, what was it? Like the good intention letter, because my husband is in removal proceedings. So we were nervous that he was going to get detained, but thank God. I don't know what happened. The guy who was doing our interview was very mean, but he let us go and he approved our 130.
Nice.
Yeah, meanest guy, but he was amazing at the same time. I'm just kind of confused on what next steps should be, because we applied for the 485 together with the 130. We with the lawyer. That's what he recommended that we do. And with him still being in removal proceedings, they send us a letter saying that because he's not an arriving alien and he's in removal, that they don't have jurisdiction over the case.
Yeah.
So I'm just confused, like, if with the current climate and everything, if it's best to terminate in the court. Do we motion for termination of the removal? What is next steps? Like, what would be the logical next step to do with everything going on?
Sure. When did your spouse come to the United States?
He arrived in June of 2021.
And how did he arrive?
He entered like without inspection, requesting asylum in Texas.
Okay. And so was he paroled in? What does his I-94 say?
His I-94 says PWA as his entry status.
And so when you filed the I-130, you filed the I-130 and the 45 together in immigration court?
Yes, we submitted it together with USIS.
Okay. And so did your lawyer go to your interview with you?
He did not. And our interviewer was very concerned as to why he wasn't there with us.
That's interesting.
He actually made a note of it. He asked us several times, like, why he didn't come. And we just told him the truth. Like, we didn't know. And the lawyer told us that we could go in by ourselves.
Everybody, listen to Amani, my wife. She says no one should go to an interview by themselves right now at USCIS. I think that's right.
Which is why we were scared.
So after the interview, they approved the I-130, and you got a letter in the mail saying we can't adjudicate the 45 because your husband is not an arriving alien and he wasn't inspected.
Yes, and he's still in removal proceedings because that he doesn't have a hearing. It says like he does not have his hearing with a judge scheduled, but he is technically still in removal proceedings.
See, I wonder if this is. I would love to take a look at your husband's case because I wonder. So you have to understand something. So what can I ask? What country your husband is from?
He's from Venezuela.
Okay, so I don't know how long you've watched this show or how much you've paid attention to all of the Trump teams bitching and moaning about parole from Afghanistan, Ukraine, Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela during the Biden administration, but they're taking the position that those people were not properly paroled into the United States.
Okay.
And so specifically what they're saying is that parole was supposed to be done on a case-by-case basis, and there wasn't supposed to be this grand big scheme to allow lots of people, for instance, from Venezuela, to adjust to enter the United States and to have that parole count as an inspection for purposes of adjustment. Does that make sense?
Yes. So technically, like, his parole doesn't count for adjustment.
That's what they're saying.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, my legal hero is litigating this very issue right now. I think it's in Massachusetts. She's like literally the best lawyer. Like, if I ever grow up and be a cool lawyer, I want to be like her. I haven't checked in on that litigation right now. Like, I don't know exactly where things are. I'm pretty sure she kicked their ass a couple times though so far. It might be going like up and down, but I think they might be using your husband's case as one of these new ones where they want to expand who they say can only adjust in court. And I don't know that they're right.
Yeah, because my concern is if we adjust in court, we're in New York City right now, and we would be going to Federal Plaza, which is kind of scary at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't know if going to court is a good option. Like, if we should just leave things alone. Just kind of, we got out of this interview alive. And
when did your husband enter?
He entered in June of 2021, and he did have TPS for a period, but they terminated that in April this year, and it's still in litigation. But we don't know what's going to happen with that.
Well, I don't know. I would press every advantage I have. How long ago did they send you the letter saying that you're 45? What did they admin close your 45, or what did they say?
It's administratively closed, so
Yeah.
I was reading that that's like on a pause. It's not really.
Yeah. You're good. You're good. You're doing a good job, Jessica. You're doing a really good job. You have a good handle on things, so that's good. When
Been
did
doing
they?
lots of research.
Yeah, you're doing great. You're doing great. When did they tell you that?
That was 2 days ago. Like I got the mail this weekend. And our interview was like last Monday.
Do you have a lawyer in the deportation case?
We do have a lawyer. We're just kind of concerned because he's very laid back with the whole situation. Like I told you, he sent us to our interview by ourselves.
Yeah.
And he was telling us, like, you don't have anything to worry about because your marriage is real and you're going to get your green card approved and you'll be traveling in a week.
Yeah. Well, that didn't happen.
But
well, if you want a fresh set of eyes, I'd be happy to look over your file if you have a whole digital copy. And I wouldn't charge you for that, just to see if you're thinking about doing something different and you want me to look at it. I'd be happy to look at it because I think it's very interesting.
Okay, yeah. And I have one more question. I would love to get your eyes on this.
Yeah.
But I do have one more question because now that if this goes to like requesting a motion to terminate or like working with the judge to adjust our case, he did miss his last interview with ICE. So I don't know if he should reach out to them and tell them, like, I missed my last check-in with you, like to try to get that rescheduled, or if that's like putting us on their radar, because the lawyer has told us not to reach out, but everything I'm reading tells us that we should remain in compliance with them.
Yeah. But we already aren't.
Yeah. He did have a doctor's appointment that day, so I was reading that maybe that counts if we can get the note from his appointment.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if that's a good idea either.
Yeah, that's one. I'd have to think about that one.
Yeah. Okay, I'll reach out to you guys to get a second pair of eyes. Would it be best to like call or email?
Yeah, just email what you got.
Okay. I'll send it
Thanks,
over.
Jessica. Okay.
Thank you so much.
See ya. All right, I'm gonna go to Mo.
Hey.
Hello, Mo.
I was thinking I wasn't going to be able to get on today.
Oh, it's our Mo. Hello,
yes,
Mo.
Yes.
That's like Hooli was signaling like this. But I had a different Mo like 20 minutes ago, but he wasn't.
I saw him. And I was like, when you first called,
yeah,
I was getting water
Mo,
and you first called him, and I was like, oh my God. Anyway, so I have a couple of questions and maybe a suggestion. Okay. With all this stuff going on, I've been talking to a lot of my American friends that have no connection to immigration and have no idea about how the system works or anything. And with all the stuff in the news and stuff, they ask me things like, why? He's been here 25 years and he still doesn't have papers. Why doesn't he just go and get papers? You know, like they think you just walk up to UCIS or something. Or I was wondering if maybe you could make some TikTok videos to educate Americans on how immigration works. So maybe they would understand how hard and how broken the system is, and maybe you could get more views, and we would educate some people. And
yeah. So I don't know, Mo, if you know this, but I'm starting a second channel, and we're going to do like one video a month.
Okay.
And it's for exactly what you say. So the first one is called "How Did We Get Here?" It's going to be about a half hour long, and it's basically our immigration history from the founding of the country.
That's awesome.
Till now.
On YouTube, it's going to be YouTube, or
yeah, it's going to be another YouTube channel, and then it's actually going to be called "Immigration Hacking" is going to be the name of that channel, cool. and that's just going to be like I'll be talking about sort of broader picture stuff, more like how do regular Americans, how can they help, or what do they need to learn? So that seems like the second video I'm going to do for that is the money in the detention of immigrants. That's gonna be number 2. But number 3, that sounds like a great idea for number 3. Like, why don't you, because I have little videos on that, like why don't they just get in line? Why don't they just pay? But that would be, and a lot of that's because of Bill Clinton. But I can do a video like that. It'll be a longer one. They're going to be edited. They're going to be more stylized.
And the right hashtag so that Americans catch it, right? Not just immigrants, I think. But anyway, okay. My question is this: so my I-130 was approved after 37 months in April. My lawyer, which is I'm not going to say the name, but it's a big immigration law firm in Dallas.
Okay.
I'm so mad at them. It took them 4 months to submit the paperwork to MVC. 4 months after 3 years of waiting. I had submitted the stuff to them before. I said, hey, I sent them emails a couple of months before it was approved. I want to be ready on day one. Please let me I had the 260, all the documents. I was only missing my taxes from last year. Oh, it's just that we're so busy with everything that's going on and all of our other cases and stuff like that. And they just kept putting me off and off and off. And they wouldn't call me back. Oh, in 2 weeks, I was so mad. I almost thought about calling you, and then they finally said, okay. I sent them emails like, please, I beg you, this has been almost 4 years now, blah, blah, blah. They finally submitted it about a week, August 11th. A week later, NVC approved everything except for one thing that they got wrong. For his police record, we had sent the police record, the certificate that's listed in the reciprocity table, and the apostille. Like, it was 2 pages, the certificate and an apostille page. The law assistant, what was it called, the paralegal, uploaded the apostille certificate, but not the original document. So they rejected that, and they said, please upload the correct document with the certification and a certified translation, whatever. I did that 2 days later. It's been about a week now. No, it's been actually like 4 or 5 days. So I'm a question for you and maybe for the audience. When you resubmit a document like that to NVC, does it go back to the last, the bottom of the queue again, or will they look at it quicker? Do you know? They approved everything else right away. I mean, they accepted all my taxes, all my the support evidence and his other stuff, and it's just the one document that they messed up on.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. It's not a reset. You don't go to the back of the line or anything. That's just
okay. Hopefully they'll get it. They got to the other stuff in 1 week, so hopefully they'll. I'm just mad that we could have had an interview by now, though. Hopefully Chile is not that bad as far as like having a lot of people in the queue. Hopefully we'll get an interview by the end of the year. In the next 2 or 3 months. But the other question is, have you or anybody in the chat heard anything about same-sex couples getting rejected more than normal or anything?
So that is the next video I'm doing for this channel. So I just started working on that today. I probably won't get to shoot it though, and I probably won't do a new video on Wednesday. It'll probably drop on Saturday. But that I've had a lot of people asking me about that. A lot of people in same-sex relationships are worried and scared about that. So I'm going to do a deep dive on that history and then where we are now. Okay. And I'll have that done by Saturday. No, I haven't heard a lot of feedback on things getting harder. Okay. On that front. No, I think we're going to be okay. I mean, I think that if they mess with it, and I think they want to mess with it. Yeah. I've always thought, well, I mean, one thing is I always thought that the whole so Obergefell and everything else is based on this case called Griswold versus Connecticut, which is a creation of Supreme Court decisions, not something statute. But I'm pretty sure that one of the few things Biden did was codify the Obergefell decision, I think. But that's why I have to do my deep dive.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, Jim, thank you again for everything, and I'm gonna wait until Trump goes away because to file for my citizenship, but I'm gonna definitely do it through you. Awesome. Last comment. I lived through the dictatorship in Chile that Nixon funded, and Pinochet was his name. Yeah, for sure. Military dictatorship, the military coup and stuff. Yes. And as a little kid in Chile, I grew up with the military on the streets and people getting picked up, and having seen all these videos, it's been so, like, it's triggered all these memories and sort of, fears, and And it's the reason I came to America, to get away from that. It's so sad, and it's been so hard. I don't want to cry.
Come on, Mo, no crying. You make everybody cry when you cry. Mo, if everybody
All right.
if everybody needs a cry, just wait for Mo to come on. No, it's all, yep.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention that it's been so. We've seen it took 19 years over there to get away from it. To finally people to start protesting and fighting for democracy to get back. And I hope it does.
You gotta fight. Thank you, Mo. I love you, brother. I'll
All
talk to
right.
you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
See ya. Robert says it's a slow-moving coup. It's hard to disagree. We got to keep doing our best, keep fighting. All right, that'll do it for today's show. We went a little long. I'm enjoying these hour-and-a-half long shows, and I agree with Mo. You got to watch. I'm trying to learn about dictatorships. I just finished that great book. If you haven't read it, it's called King of Kings, about the Shah of Iran, and I learned more about Iran than I ever thought I would. No is a movie that I really want to see, Javier. I agree. Or Xavier. All right, so I'm out of here. Thank you, Juli, for staying late with me. No show tomorrow. I'm here in Orlando for an all-day conference, and then Wednesday I'm probably going to do it. I know we've been doing late shows because I'm on call, but we'll probably do it around 1:00. But the best way to find out for sure is to text the word show to 314-470-3300. And if you could do us a quick favor and go to reviewhackinglaw.com, and leave us a 5-star review, we'd really appreciate it. If everybody watching, if 1/10 of 1%, if 10% of the people watching this show did that, we would have a lot more reviews. So go to reviewhackinglaw.com, leave us a quick review. I will see you guys tomorrow, Wednesday. Bye, guys.
I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion.